Welcome to the Goalbusters Expert Peak Productivity Tips podcast, where top business experts get just 7 minutes to answer 5 rapid-fire questions about what they do and how they stay productive. Each episode is packed with actionable insights to help boost your efficiency and achieve your goals. Let's dive in and unlock the secrets to peak performance. Well, hello everyone. My name is Robin J. Emden, and I'm the creator and author of the Get Resultsology system and a dedicated accountability coach. My mission is to empower solopreneurs to unlock their true potential, boost their income, and achieve extraordinary success by maximizing productivity, streamlining their businesses, and aligning their goals with their authentic vision and purpose. If you're ready to turn ambition into action and transform your goals into reality, you're in exactly the right place. Today, I'm really excited to welcome Amy Goldmacher. Amy is an anthropologist, writer, and certified nonfiction book coach who helps writers turn ideas into book deals. Her work has appeared in the New York Times, johnfriedman.com, and more. And her experimental new book, a glossary form memoir called Terms and Conditions, will be published in the fall of 2026. Originally from New York, Amy has lived in 23 cities and now calls South Florida home. Whether coaching authors or traveling with her husband, she's always exploring new ideas. Amy, welcome to Goalbusters.
Thanks, Robin. I'm super excited to be here.
I'm super excited to have you and your cat with us as well. So whereabouts are you in South Florida?
I'm in Fort Lauderdale, which is about an hour north of Miami. So we're almost at the very tip of South Florida.
Oh, wonderful. That sounds lovely. I have been to Florida. I know what a beautiful state it is. All right, then. So shall we get straight into the questions?
Yes, let's do it.
All right, we will start the clock. And there it goes. Amy, let's talk about what you do. Who is your ideal client, please?
Sure. So the big picture is I help aspiring nonfiction authors who dream of publishing a book transform their idea into a killer proposal that attracts agents and publishers. And the thing is, not every author knows that in order to have a nonfiction book traditionally published, you need a book proposal first. So sometimes there's a bit of education required about the publishing industry and the process of writing a book for traditional publication. And I believe that even if you want to self-publish a book proposal will help you because through the process of developing the book proposal, you solve a lot of the challenges in writing and publishing a book, such as articulating who the audience is and knowing where to find them and getting crystal clear on what your book is about. And underneath that, I help those who feel stuck to make confident, values-aligned, and intentional goals and decisions. Because both writers and those who have solo coaching businesses like book coaches, they feel stuck and overwhelmed. And I am really good at helping people figure out what they want to do and feel confident that they know how to do it.
Okay, so you've really kind of answered the second question as well. That's 2 for the price of 1. Are there any other problems that you solve, or have you pretty much covered it there?
Well, I think the thing is that people get overwhelmed when they have big goals or tasks, such as writing a book or marketing your book coaching business. There's a lot of decisions to be made, and it's hard to sort through the big issues and prioritize, what needs to be done when, and figuring out the strategy and the tactics for getting to the goal. And I think that's common to writers and people who have independent coaching businesses. I think they think, they get stuck, and this is true for myself too. They get stuck in the loops of, should I do this or should I do that? They don't know what to do, and they're afraid of doing it wrong. So they don't do anything. So that's where I come in. So I like to say I help people go from I feel stuck to I'm excited and confident. I know what I want to do and how to do it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Afraid of doing anything in case you get it wrong is such a big problem. And anybody that helps people overcome that, especially in a speciality like yours, is a really, really valuable resource to have. Thank you for sharing that with us. Talking of valuable free resources, actually, what is a free action that your audience could implement that would help them solve that problem today?
Well, I'll give you an example. So my mother will be 80 this year, and she lives in Michigan. And I left Michigan a couple of years ago to move to Florida. And my brother, who also lives in Michigan, is planning to move to Florida this year. So my mom will be moving to be close to us, but she absolutely does not want to move, and she feels overwhelmed by the thought of it. She knows she's going to have to get her house ready to sell and figure out new doctors in Florida and how she's going to transport her 2 cats and how is she going to make new friends. So like all of these things are just, they're just so present. And so I told her, just get everything you're worried about on the page and we'll sort it out later. So when you get things out of your head, it kind of breaks down the task. Like if you're worried about how am I going to get my house ready to sell, there's a bunch of little tasks associated with it. So first, just get all the worries out of your head. That's the first step. Clear the decks, and doing that brain dump is the way to do that. So I tell people the action is take 10 minutes and just dump everything you're worried about on the page, everything in your head. Don't worry about the order or how you'll do it. Focus on the what. I like to say what before how. So you can think about what's on your mind, what are you worried about, what do you think you want to do? If you have trouble getting it out, ask yourself a question like, what's bothering me? What's on my mind? Or why am I having a hard time with X? And X could be your writing or your marketing or thinking about a big life event.
Excellent. I like to think of it in terms of like getting the chewing gum out of your head.
Yeah, that's a great
Yeah.
way of putting it.
Yeah, and you've explained it extremely well. Thank you, Amy. That was great. So now we know a little bit more about what you do. Let's talk about goal busting, our podcast, meaning how do you make the best use of your own productive time, Amy, to achieve your own business goals? So can you share any tips or advice for someone looking to improve their productivity habits? And as you're dealing with authors, I imagine that's something that comes up a lot.
Yeah, I think the answer is know yourself. So if you know your own preferences and conditions that set you up for success, you can replicate those. So the way to do that is to kind of reflect on what has made you successful in the past. So what conditions need to be in place that will increase the likelihood of success? Are you more productive in the mornings or afternoons or evenings? Do you work best in a coffee shop with lots of background noise? Or do you need to be in a quiet space with no interruptions? Can you do that in your home or do you need to leave to do that? Do you work best in big chunks of time or do you need little 15-minute sprints to help you get stuff done? So the only right answer is the one that works for you. And experimenting is part of that process. I think a lot of people put the pressure on themselves to, I'm going to write from, an hour a day from 5 to 6 a.m. Monday through Friday, but that might not be the best thing to do. So feel free to experiment and figure out what's going to make you most successful.
Yeah, fantastic. So many good points in there, all of them valid and all about experimenting with what works best for you. This is why I often say there's no one size fits all. You've got to find out what works best for you. And there's no point in saying to other people, try this, it worked for me, because it may not work for them. Yeah, absolutely.
100%.
Brilliant. So for my final question to you, Amy, and I always like this because it's freewheeling and it brings a lot of variety and some very interesting replies. What should I have asked you today, Amy, that I didn't? And of course, your answer, please.
Well, I'm not sure what the question is, but I think the answer is take the pressure off yourself. I think as writers and professionals and humans, we feel the pressure to do the right thing and do it fast. And that can be paralyzing. So I know that's true for me as a writer and a coach. I'm always in a hurry to write the thing and get it out there. But it's okay and it's normal to know that publishing a book takes years, writing a book takes years. It always takes longer than we want it to. So if you focus on the process rather than the destination, it's a lot more rewarding. You'll get to your destination, but you figure everything out while you're on the journey.
Yeah, I completely relate to that. My book that I wrote that's coming out soon, it took me 3 months to write in my imagination. In reality, it was 3 years.
Yep,
Yep. So
that sounds right.
yeah,
That sounds normal.
that's normal. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's all right. So I learned that one the hard way, but and it proves your point. It's very solid advice there, and take the pressure off. Completely agree with you, Amy. That's fantastic, and we did that in exactly 7 minutes as well. That's brilliant. Yeah, excellent.
We skipped a question, and I would love
We
to
skipped a
share it with,
question.
yeah, how do you make best use of your productive time to achieve your own business goals?
Yeah. Okay. You're technically correct. We did skip a question, but it's not one of the five. So
Ah,
what happens there is I'm explaining that question 4 is about that. Yeah, I'm all ears.
okay. Well, I think I really liked that it was like the question was like, how do I make the best productive use of my time? And then question 4 was about, here's give me another free tip. So the thing I said in that spot was the best thing that I've done recently is partnering with another book coach to meet on Zoom for an hour where we each work on our own marketing stuff, because that's the hardest. Like, we both had the challenge of having something to do, but keeping to put it off, keep kicking it down the road, making it next week's thing. And so we thought, well, let's just do the hard things while we're in company with each other. So we don't talk, we just do our work for the day, and then we sign off and we meet for the next hour on the next time. So I think that if people are struggling with getting something challenging done, sometimes it's called body doubling or co-working or accountability sessions. And there's lots of free ways to find someone to be accountable to. If you don't have anyone in your network who can set a time to meet on camera in person, you can try London Writer Salon for writers. They have many times during the day where you just jump in and you're in company with others. Or there's also Focus Mate, where somebody random on the internet is there live with you online and you get your stuff done.
Excellent. Thank you. Yeah, absolutely. Accountability buddy, I call it. That's what you're describing. It doesn't really matter what it's called. It has the same effect. It's holding each other accountable, which is a highly motivational force. It's what I do for a living. And but it's one of the things I say over and over to people is you don't need to pay someone to do it. If you can get a good accountability buddy, the payment is you're doing for them what they're doing for you, and that can be very, very beneficial. It's very interesting what you do. How do people get in touch with you? And also, is there like a valuable free resource they can get from you to find out more about what you do and also to help them with the problems that you've talked about today?
Yes, I have a website. It's my name, amygoldmacher.com. And there is a spot for freebies, but the direct link is amygoldmacher.com/freebies. I've got a couple of free downloads there. There's also my social media links, because I'm always posting content, trying to help people as much as I can. So I'd love it if people came to the website and got something that was helpful to them.
I'd love that too. I think that sounds fascinating and very useful. Thank you so much, Amy. It's been an absolute joy and a pleasure. I've learned so much in just a very short space of time. I could sit here and pick your brain for hours. So, Amy, I'm going to say thank you again for doing this today.
Thank you for having me. I love talking about this stuff, so I really appreciate it.
It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you, and bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to Goalbusters. If you're enjoying it, please subscribe, rate and review it on your favourite podcast platform. Your support is very much appreciated. And if you're ready to boost your online profits, skyrocket your productivity, crush procrastination, and see a positive change in your bank balance, all within just 30 days, this is your opportunity. Take my free 5-day challenge at www.skyrocketyourproductivitychallenge.com.